Day 51 on your morning Saturday. Gorgeous shot there, put in bay from the Jet Express camera. Shot over the water and a clear blue sky. Well, it will soon be time to dye Easter eggs, but before we can do that, we're blowing them up. Carl Nelson from the Imagination Station is here now. Carl, thank you so much for coming in.
Sure.
And, you know, we were talking about before the break this whole thing with the Equinox, can you balance an egg? You're taking this like 10 times higher than that.
Yeah, we're going to bypass that whole balance in the egg thing.
Okay.
You know, so next week at the Imagination Station, we have an event called Farm Fest.
Okay.
And as we were brainstorming farms and what activities we could do, we started thinking about eggs, right? And what could you do with eggs that would be kind of fun? Now,
Besides making an omelet.
Besides making an omelet, besides cooking them, exactly.
Okay.
Like, you know, we do fun things. So I picked up some eggs, and normally you look for the eggs that have no cracks and no holes in them, right? So I actually have a dozen eggs here that have holes in the top and bottom. I've actually blown out all the stuff inside. Really gross process, but nonetheless, you get an egg that is hollow. And I'm thinking, what if we filled it with hydrogen gas?
Okay.
And then brought a flame next to it. You know,
Fantastic.
What might happen?
Carl, we're going to need some safety goggles for this.
Well, we're not going to use goggles. We're going to go with a full face mask here.
Oh, this is almost like from Flashdance.
All right. So, you know, there is the possibility of flying debris here. You can just leave yours down. It'll.
Okay.
You're better that way. Now, I'm going to have to trust you a little bit here.
Oh, that's your first mistake.
With the hydrogen, okay? So we got a little valve here.
Okay.
And what I'm going to need you to do is just crank that valve open, twist it towards the... Yeah,
The whole way?
yeah, crank it all the way open. All right. So now we got hydrogen gas. All right?
Okay.
We're going to squirt that into our egg. And now we're going to overfill it. All right?
Of course
You can go ahead and close that now.
It's closed.
All right. So what we're going to do now is just add a little flame to the top.
Okay.
Now, hydrogen is lighter than air. You get over here. You can be closer. You'll be fine. Hydrogen is lighter than air, and so it floats, right? And so if we add a little flame to the top, you get a flame. And eventually, what happens, it's kind of interesting. You fill it with hydrogen. There's a flame that burns at the top because the hydrogen gas is lighter than air. It floats out. And it combusts with the oxygen in the air.
It smells wonderful.
It does. That's the egg. But as the hydrogen is burning, it's escaping from the egg, and some oxygen is coming in from the bottom of the egg. All right. And at some point, we should do this again. Put your mask back on there. At some point, you get the right mix of hydrogen and oxygen inside the egg to cause the egg to explode.
Okay, ready?
Crank it open.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
All right. We'll see. Go ahead and close the valve.
Okay.
And then we'll go ahead and light the top.
Of course.
And you get the exploding egg. All right.
You guys at the Imagination Station, you're heavily insured, right?
We are.
Just
we
checking.
are. We are.
Everything there's 100% safe. I'm just messing with you, Carl, because you have hydrogen, you have a flame. I had to be nice to you now.
Absolutely. A really cool demonstration, though, of how hydrogen, you normally think of it just going to be explosive. You need the right mix of oxygen and hydrogen gas to get that explosion. Because in the beginning, we had a nice little flame here. If we could dim the lights, you would have seen a little flame on the top. But then it drops down and boom, the whole thing goes away.
We can't dim the lights because as scary as I look like this, in bad lighting, it's even worse. And we don't have that Barbara Walters filter that we can just turn on.
All right, all right. We'll have to go with how we're at.
So besides that, you guys also have something else?
Yeah, today, if you come down between 1 and 3, we have a workshop called Fling It, where you can actually build marshmallow towers and catapults. It's designed for families, right? So you come down with the kids, and adults are free for the workshop. Kids are $5 for members, $10 for non-members, but you can build all sorts of really cool things, and it's a challenge, right? So you got families competing with one another to build the best catapult. This was actually one that was built last week, which is kind of fun. Very crafty, very MacGyver-like, if you will.
Now, Carl, when you saw this made, and you're talking about this experiment today, did you think, well, if I light the egg and fling it fast enough, I can launch it and have it explode in air? You've thought about that, haven't you?
I've thought about it, but it might be a little bit too much here.
Okay.
I think we'll just stick with Stanium on the flask.
Well, thanks so much for coming in and increasing our blood pressure across the area. It was so nice to meet you and for you to come in. And as Carl mentioned, Imagination Station this week and this weekend.
Yeah.
So thanks so
Check it
much.
out.
And we can't wait to have you back so you can blow something else up.
All right.
We are also heavily insured here. At least I think we are. Mel?